A key skill in reading the tarot is making the jump from reading the meaning of one card to finding the connected meaning in a group of cards. And like learning a foreign language, the only real way to do this with accuracy and confidence is practice. That's about it, really. Lots and lots and lots of practice. And the more practice you have, the easier it will be. So to start with, I suggest that you use really simple 3-card spreads, because the more cards you have, the more complicated the meanings get. It's like learning to read simple words first and simple books first. So although the Celtic Cross is a really great spread, it's not the best spread, I don't think, for practicing at first. So I suggest a simple spread, 3 cards, situation, advice, likely outcome. That's it. So I'm going to demonstrate, and I'm just reading for myself for the coming week just to get a feel of what's going on. And the first card is to represent the feel for the coming week. So you read this card first by itself. So the Page of Pentacles, it's to do with paying attention to detail, physical things. It might be decluttering, sorting, money, finances. It's about paying attention to detail, which is absolutely spot on. This week I'm really focusing on my accounting. So the first thing to do, you have one card to represent the situation. So you should be able to read this and validate that it reflects where you are right now. And whether you're reading for a question or a period of time, this card represents the situation, so you should be able to read it and relate it to what's going on right now. That's really important. So the next card is advice. We have the Moon. So you now read this card separately. So you've understood the first card, and more importantly, you've related it to your life, and you've validated that you've read it correctly because it relates to your life in some way. So the second card is advice. So for me, the Moon is about facing your fears. So read this as an action or an advice card. And then when you've done that separately, you then relate it back to the first card. Can you find a link between what you decided this card means, advice, and the situation that you're referring to in the first card? And I definitely can. I hate doing accounts. They are my biggest bugbear, and I fear doing them wrong. I fear running out of money, all of those things. So for me, actually getting a pen and paper, because I don't do it on spreadsheets, and going through my finances is about facing a fear. So you're starting from a point you can validate. You're then reading the second card separately and then looking back. And now we're going to repeat this practice, and you should be able to find some validation in this card too, because it's advice. So it should resonate with you. And the next card, now you read this on its own, and this is likely outcome, short-term outcome for me, 2 of Pentacles. So that is continuing the focus, but there's a juggling there. So perhaps what this is telling me is that I need to keep the tight focus on the finances. It will be a bit of a juggle, but it's not the 3 of Pentacles or the 10 of Pentacles, but hey, it's not the 5. So there's a suggestion that I should be juggling for a while, and I need to keep the focus very firmly on finances. Now I need to relate it back to both other cards. So I have avoided doing my finances. It gets personal when you share tarot, because it is a fear of mine. Right now I'm trying to overcome that, so I'm very, very focused on it. And hopefully I will get to a point where it's just a natural part of what I do. So that's it really. You start with something you can validate, the situation. You read for the advice. Hopefully you can find some resonation with that too. And then you can find how these two relate. And then the outcome, this is unknown to you. So you need to read for that, and then you need to see how these relate. There is no shortcut for doing this. It is practice, practice and more practice, and there is no other way, I don't think, to do that. Even if you just read intuitively, I still think it takes a lot of practice. And personally, I feel that tarot reading is 50% intuition, but 50% understanding the symbolism within the cards. So I hope that's helped. I'll try and share some more videos of these because I think having examples can really help.